The 67th Bilderberg meeting will take place from May 30th to June 2, 2019 in Montreux, Switzerland. About 130 participants from 23 countries have confirmed their attendance. As ever, a diverse group of political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia, labor and the media has been invited. Key topics include 1. A stable strategic order. 2. What next for Europe? 3. Climate change and sustainability. 4. China. 5. Russia. 6. The future of capitalism. 7. Brexit. 8. The ethics of artificial intelligence. 9. The weaponization of social media. 10. The importance of space. 11. Cyber threats. We would like to point out the number one item on this list, a stable strategic order. Never before has it been so painfully obvious. Think of this list as a menu of sorts of what's in store for humanity. The One World Order has officially made it to the front door of the human race. Time is running short to stop them. We would also like to point out something that also made this list, cyber threats. You see, no matter what they would have you believe about Anonymous, they fear us, and if they fear us, that means they fear you. You see, many years ago they believed that if they simply ceased to acknowledge our actions against them in their corrupt media, that our influence, numbers, capabilities, support and overall threat level we pose to their agenda would somehow be contained. This simply was not the case. We have always worked in the dark. We have never sought selfish personal attention, nor profit, neither have we scattered out from fear or insignificance. We are here and stronger than ever before. Our message of freedom, liberty, peace, privacy, truth and love resonates with every human being that hears it, and that's simply because that is the true nature of every human soul in existence. When it is devoid of these basic tenets for long periods of time, it yearns for them and is drawn to the first sight or sound of them. Like a moth to a flame of light. That light burns in the hearts and minds of every human being on this planet, and sooner or later each soul will demand nothing else. The only people on this planet that should ever fear us is the morally unjust and depraved, the ones that seek to hold dominion and control over humanity. The corrupt, murdering power brokers and money changers. We know why cyber threats are of a topic at the One World Order Convention this year, and that is simply to attempt in vain to stop our infiltrations when they cross lines that demand justice. As you know, we don't prefer to wait for the interval of time for justice to run its course when these events happen, nor when the One World Order has secret meetings on how to further their hegemony over humanity. No, we prefer disarray and destruction of their goals and agendas before they can be fully implemented. We know Jared Kushner, in particular, will be in attendance, Trump's right-hand man, his son-in-law. Both Trump and Jared have had meetings with Kissinger, a lifelong member of the Bilderberg Group. You see, we have long seen through the smoky veil of political illusionary paradigms that has consumed the vast populations and kept them busy arguing, fighting and even killing each other over so-called political beliefs, opinions and policy. This political theater on and over the supposed control by the public over the direction of the nation in which their duly elected rulers supposedly serve, has effectually zero say on such matters. It only serves to reinforce the belief in freedom of choice between the next two puppet candidates hand-selected by the enemy of humanity the next cycle. They appear as two fundamentally different directions, but all end falling in neither direction presented, and instead, go the way of the ones that financially control and fund the entire government and all its systems. These people know only one agenda, and they cycle after cycle sell the public the exact bullshit each side wants to hear according to the political paradigms they subscribe to and believe in. The elite don't care which one ultimately wins, as both were placed by them. Both choices are their puppets. Dear elites of our world, and specifically the Bilderberg Group. You may have the populations fooled, but we are aware. We are aware of your campaigns to dumb down the populations at large with covert propaganda campaigns such as hand-delivered so-called stories by the intelligence communities to every major media company for dispersion as quote news and opinion pieces end quote, in order to social engineer the population at large into believing, feeling and even acting the exact way that benefits the originators of that propaganda. The population at large may not see your methods of control, however we do. We see you using frequencies to control emotions, control brain functions, facilitate actions that targeted individuals would never undertake naturally. We see this frequency assault combined with secret atmospheric spraying operations, as well as genetically engineered food and seeds changing DNA, lowering IQs, rendering the average human attention span to less than that of a goldfish. We see your entertainment mediums you use for much of this social engineering in music, movies, advertisements, subliminal messaging utilizing symbols, flashing light at particular intervals and frequencies in order to alter human consciousness. You have underhandedly used these entertainment mediums to inform the public on what your plans are before doing them. You have used their unnoticing attention and lack of knowledge on these methods and accept their deafening silence as consent. Yes, we are aware. We are aware 5G will bring the so-called smart cities, facilitate global artificial intelligence locking humanity inside an unperceived prison where their every move, every word, every action is monitored, logged and stored. We know RFID combined with these 5G networks and artificial intelligence handling the vast amounts of data renders near seamless, low latency remote access to every electronic device on the market, thus in every home and every pocket. Now with SpaceX launching its first generation of Starlink satellites, eventually there will be no escaping the Internet of Things. Or as we like to put it, the warden's eye of this prison planet you are building. We know of the backdoors inside your CPUs and in your software developed and pioneered by none other than the Taupiot program. A program started in 1979 by the Israeli Defense Forces, an overriding program and used to infiltrate major global corporations, historically one per year, to get their spy and control technology in every computer processor and major software on the planet. Every device with Intel CPUs have a backdoor, and you can bet your Windows operating system most certainly does as well. We know humanity, no matter how much they say they won't accept it, has already accepted the first generation of the so-called microchip in the form of their debit, credit cards and transportation worker identification cards developed by Lockheed Martin. We know you want a crypto-based one-world currency. We know SHA-256 is the secure hashing algorithm which is an essential part of Bitcoin's architecture. It is an NSA hash function algorithm first published in 2001. Even the name of Bitcoin's unknown reported creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, translates to quote, Central Intelligence end quote. As far as Brexit and what's next for Europe? Well, one of your puppets has already stepped down, Theresa May. Defeated by the pressure put on by the Yellow Vest movement sweeping across France, and with your other puppets Emmanuel Macron's changing heart and sweeping reforms will do little to stop the revolution underway. You can't be trusted, Macron. You're elite lapdog just like May, and your reforms are only out desperation, not out of good faith, or support of the people. Your actions will fuel yellow vests across Europe. Here's a news flash for you controlists trying to subdue the people. They do not care for your policy, your authority or the government in which you serve. They voted for Brexit and you ignore them. The government itself you want them to return to and support has failed the people by not respecting their vote, their voice, and they are coming for what they voted for, independence. Respect the voice of the people or face revolution. If you choose the latter, the people of the world will pay attention, and this spark of true freedom and liberty will spread like a wildfire, and soon you will be facing this situation not only across Europe but across the world. So you see, you elite psychopaths, it's not only the human race that's approaching 0 hour, it is also you. The tighter you close in on us, The tighter we close in on you. You know, the further you push, the more the chance of your failure increases. No matter what future comes our way, it will come down to the idea against you. As it always has. Humanity is waking up. It's inevitable. So who is occupying the Bilderberg meeting in Montreux, Switzerland? We are anonymous. We are Legion. We are the ghost in the dark. Expect us.